Hey, my normies and non-normies, how are you doing? I do hope that today finds you in a good day, no matter what time it is, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. At the time of this recording, it is May 14th, 1:42 in the afternoon, and I really didn't have any intentions of recording any content. I'm still in my little stump of this depression that I'm really trying to figure out, and it's just making it very difficult for me to actually find content. I don't know, I'm really, really stuck. But I had a skills lab that I had to do for my health and life coaching certification. And while talking to my skills lab partner, whose name was Sandra, and I can say that she shed a little light for me. And while talking to her, I don't know if you guys can hear the kids arguing in the back. Um, if y'all can, my bad. But they're arguing over the dog. Um, so I'm not gonna let it stress me out. The old me would have be over here having a little attitude, having her whole little tantrum. And I'm not gonna let it stress me out though. Can't do nothing about it. We all in one motel room. What can I do? It's just not gonna let it stress me out. So just gonna push on, keep on pushing. That's all we're gonna do. So, anyways, so while talking to her, she she helped me realize that I swear I keep seeing things. I'm not appreciating the things that I think I keep seeing. But anyways, she helped me realize, or she shed some light on, where the old me is accustomed to my depression being dark and ugly, and it taking so much out of me where I don't get out of the bed at all, or where every stinking thought is so dark and ugly, and if you guys were to know what they were, you'd be like, oh my god, and gruesome, and just I am so used to my depressions being that way that this version, this depression, this state, the way that this depression is not something that I'm accustomed to. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to getting up and laughing, but not a pretend laugh, not a laugh that came with the mask that I put on that day, not a laugh that I had to force from the bottom of my soul and push all the way up to the top and force it to come out. This is a laugh that generally, yeah, it was funny, and generally I was happy at that moment, so it came out, and yeah, I was there, but I'm still depressed. Don't mistake it. I'm still depressed. Don't get it twisted. The depression is still there. It didn't go away. It didn't disappear. It didn't leave me. It didn't just say, okay, Lynette, I'm gone. You're feeling better now. You don't need me anymore. I've disappeared. No, it's still there. I have just both emotions at the same time. And I'm not used to this type of depression. So, I'm used to crying it out, and it being in such dark places, and pushing through those dark places, and pushing through those crying moments, and through all those negative thoughts and negative emotions and negative feelings, and then coming out of it, and walking out those steps and talking those steps and thinking those steps, and that process and that thought process and everything else, and bringing you guys that content and that information and all of that. And I'm used to doing that, but this is a whole different process. This here, I don't know what this is. And if I don't know what this is, and I don't even know what I'm doing or how to do it or how to go about it, then how can I even walk some steps or walk a process or even have a process if I don't even know what the process is? I just feel like I'm going through the motions, but I don't even know what those motions are. Like, I get up, I'm not stressed. That's a plus. Like, whew. That's a plus. I mean, I've always been stressed. I don't even know what it's like to not be stressed. Well, I guess I do now, but I don't. I just realized right now talking to you guys that I'm not stressed. And I've never even known what it's like to not be stressed. Even as little, I still was stressed. So, sorry for the kids arguing in the background while I'm trying to record my podcast. My apologies. Again, it's about the dog. I'm just going to lose out this moment. And again, we're just going to keep on pushing and just keep on pushing because we know that I have 2 autistic kids that sometimes forget that mom is doing things because of their way their world is. And I'm not going to let it get to me. So we're just going to keep on pushing. We'll keep on pushing. But yeah, like I'm just getting up and going with like my emotions, but I just don't even know what those emotions are. I am trying to figure them out, I guess. Like I've caught myself not doing my affirmations or my manifesting. I told myself this morning I was gonna do it. It's now 1:48 and I still haven't done them. And then watch me say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I haven't even opened the Bible. And I know this is part of the depression. So how am I getting myself out of it? I can't do... Sorry, I just had to take a bite of food. I haven't eaten anything. I can't do the things I used to do. Clearly that's not working. Because I don't even have the energy to do it. So now I have to find new ways, new methods, new techniques. And then hopefully I can implement my old techniques. Because I like them. But it's like... the energy. Just even the thought of doing that makes this depression, this depressed Lynette, not even want to do it. And I'm like, I have to do it. And the depressed part of me is like, but dude, why? We're good. Look, you're not you're not sad. You're not crying. You're not stressed out. What are you worried about? What's the problem? And then it gets me wondering, what is the problem? What am I worried about? Why must I fix something that's not broken? But the issue is, it is broken. I'm not doing anything productive. I'm not finding ways to get out of here. I'm not accomplishing nothing new. I'm not growing.
Mama, the man's right there.
Okay.
You have to call him.
Why do I have to call him? Sorry, you guys, hold on. Why do I have to call him?
Because he's not at the front. Take you go to the bathroom.
It's okay. He can do it right there, right now, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, you guys had to have another dog emergency. A lot of dog emergencies around here. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, that just came out of nowhere. Thank God we're on the radio. Sorry for COVID, y'all. Thank you that it cannot travel through the airwaves. Apologize, may want to sanitize those airwaves. Here, I'm going to sanitize some air pumps for y'all. Okay? But, oh, but for ease of mind, I did turn my face away from the mic, though. Because I did not want my germs to go through the airwaves. Even though I know that's not possible. But just, I did think about y'all. That's how much I care about y'all. But, yeah, so, talking with her, in my skills lab today helped me realize that this is a whole new person. This depression looks on me completely different now than it did 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, a month ago, 2 months ago. So I now have to learn my depression on me all over again. And I now have to get my PhD on my depression on me all over again. And so that I can understand, who I am and how to work around it and how to get out of it and how to, avoid being in it, point blank period, because obviously I'm in it, so I didn't understand the signs prior to, or didn't have the correct steps to avoid getting deep into it. And the reason why I say I'm deep into it is because I'm avoiding everything that I can to get out of it, and that's usually when you're deep into it. And then when you justify that you're okay, knowing that you're not okay, then you're deep into it. And I know all these things, so because I know all these things, I'm trying to still continue my routine to avoid from falling deeper, but I'm not actually continuing my routine fully, if we are being honest. I only do some of my routine, not even a third of my routine. But I'm still pushing as much as I can, and that's just to keep myself from falling deeper and deeper. Excuse me, sorry. Something just so rude of a host today. And I apologize for that. I'm just gonna have to be non-apologetically me today. But, yeah, so, sorry for lyrical, you guys. But I guess the microphone, the headphones, me talking to it just doesn't really get through to these kids, none of these kids, that, hey, mom's recording a podcast episode. Let's not be loud.
Sorry, I didn't know you were doing the podcast.
But, no, the microphone being in front just doesn't give a hint. So, sorry for the interruptions of my crazy madness household. But you gotta work with what you got, and you gotta go with the rolls of those punches. And sometimes you get hit, and all you could do is just get back up and keep on swinging. That's all you could do. Try to avoid the body shots, but they just keep on coming, boy. Them body shots get me worse than them face shots. But, yeah, so, and I feel like the depression is stopping me from finding content. It's stopping me from seeing the content. Like, normally, I can sit here during the day and be like, hey, I just went through this experience with Beva, or I just went through this experience with Delano. Maybe I should make a video about that. And a lot of videos, like I said previously, like in my YouTube, I don't think I've said it in my podcast, but I've had to delete because the microphone had a shortage in it and you couldn't hear the sound, so there was just no point. And with the podcast, it did happen with a couple of my stuff, so I did have to delete. So I kind of just got discouraged, and because I knew the mic had a shortage in it, I just didn't even bother to record podcast episodes because I just didn't want to take the risk of giving amazing content and just having to delete it because you just couldn't hear it. I just couldn't fathom myself just spending that much time and putting so much energy and effort and it just having to be deleted afterwards. So I used that crutch right there as an excuse to not even bother to think about things or pay attention to my day-to-day like I usually do, and then be like, hey, I think I'm gonna do a video on that, or I think I'm gonna do a video on this, or I feel like I should test bases on that, or just, pay attention to certain things, because I was like, well, I don't have the mic. There's no point because I'm going to want to record the video now and then I can't do it and I'm going to get frustrated. So what's the point? But that's not true. I still could have written down the idea and gotten back to it later. For all I know, the message could have been more powerful than it would have been if I would have recorded it right then and there. Like, those were just all excuses that I was giving myself because of the depression. And now that I've actually noticed this, I have to find ways to like get around it, because it's gonna be a really hard crutch. These are things that I love to do, and these are things that help me cope with my, day-to-day anxiety, day-to-day depression, day-to-day PTSD. Like, talking to you guys, or posting the videos, or writing on my blog, or those things actually bring comfort to me. And right now, not being able to do them bothers me, or not being able to have content bothers me. And what is making it worse, it's like I'm doubting myself. Like, oh, why did you even bother to do this? Like, nobody's listening to you, so what's the point? Or nobody's reading your information, so what's the point? Like, you really should just stop your YouTube. You should just stop the blog. Just stop the podcast. Just stop posting your inspirational messages on the Instagram. Just call it a day. Like, there's just no point. Like, just keep doing your health and life coaching, and then just call it a day. Like, nobody else cares about anything else. Like, shut it all down. Like, it doesn't matter what you started it for. Like, it is what it is. And I don't understand where all of these thoughts are coming from, because like, it's just brand new thoughts and brand new feelings, and I don't really get where they're coming from, but they're bothering the heck out of me, because I have a mission. I started this with a mission and a purpose, and there's a reason why I started it, and I know there is, and there's a deeper purpose for it. So, like, for this depression to even try to get me to like feel like there's just no point in it, or that there's no value in it, or that there's no purpose in it, is a pain in the behind. Because at the end of the day, who is this depression to tell me that there isn't another person out there that feels like no one understands their story, or that feels like no one gets where they're coming from, or they don't even understand themselves why they feel how they feel, or they don't even understand themselves where they're coming from. And maybe my story can help them, or my story can bring light to certain things within their story and their life. Or, they're in denial and they've been beating themselves up and they don't understand what's going on. And by seeing my story, like, it helps them to come out in the light and stop being in denial. You never know. There's so many different possibilities of what my podcast or my blog or my YouTube can do for somebody else that I tried to find in another place that I couldn't find, in my time of need, because I couldn't find someone else who had mental health that had 2 kids with autism, or 1 child with autism and mental illness. Like, I couldn't find that. I could not find that. Like, yeah, I could probably find a parent that had mental illness that was raising children, but, their children didn't have mental illness, or their children was not autistic. Or, yeah, I could find a parent that had children with autism, but they didn't have mental illness. So they couldn't really, understand where I was coming from. Because it's in my situation, I have to protect my mind and I have to protect their mind. So I am responsible for a lot more, and as a parent, you're already responsible for a lot. But when you throw in mental health, it gets deeper, and it becomes a lot more profound, and it becomes a lot more intellectual, and that's where these doctorates and masterates and all that kicks in, because you'd have them PhDs to really understand what you're dealing with and really understand what you're working with. And you can't just brush things under the rug. You really have to be open-minded and understanding, and You really have to be okay with living within your truth. You cannot just be like, well, ain't nothing wrong with me or my child. Because that's not going to get you or your child anywhere in life. That's going to make that child struggle. And then that cycle, that never ending cycle is just going to keep on continuing. Where that child is going to feel worthless, or that child is going to feel like they're the problem, or the same feelings you felt growing up, the same insecurities you had growing up, your child is going to have them, no matter how much you say they're not, because you're going to do everything that you can in your power for that not to happen. They are, because you're doing the same thing your parents did. And you're not seeing it because you're not opening your eyes. You're not understanding that your parents are you at that moment in time. They made the same decision that you did to not live in their truth. And because they didn't live in their truth, and they decided to live in denial, and they decided to not live in your truth as well, and they lived in denial for you also, that's where your problems came from as well. And then now you as an adult, let's switch the role, decided to be your parents, and now you're going to make your child be you. And then the cycle is going to continue. And then when your child gets older, if they have the same situation going on with one of their children, they're going to become you, and then their child is going to become them, and so on and so on and so on. And when will the cycle end? When will enough be enough? When are we going to say, hey, it is okay that you have XYZ. It is okay that I have XYZ. We do not have to become what we have. Okay? What we have becomes what we define it to be. Okay? What we say it'll be within us. What we decide it to be. Alright? Because again, it looks different in each person. Okay? But it is also how you, the power, the control that you give it, how you decide it looks on you. Like that suit that I tell you to get tailored. To get tailored to fit you so it can look nice so you can rock the hell out of it. Yes, it's like that. Okay? Ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that. And I'm tired of all these years of having people make it seem like it's so horrible to deal with depression, anxiety, PTSD, or learning disabilities, or whatever the case may be. Like, the world has made it seem like these things are so horrible, but they're not. They're not. They're just another part of you. They don't define you, and they don't make you, and they don't break you. They're just another part of who you are. That's it. There's nothing else. That's all it is, and you just have to learn that part of you. Learn who you are with that part. That's all you have to do. That's it. It's like learning how to walk all over again. But if you have a limp, then you have a limp. You have to learn how to walk with that limp. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's so simple, so basic. Why do we make it so complicated? So simple and so basic, but why do we make people feel like it's the worst thing in the world? So simple and so basic, but yet, why do we feel like it's the end of the world because of it? I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, it's not one of these things when you first meet somebody, you go, hey, my name is Lynette and I have mental health. I mean, normally you'd be like, hey, my name is Lynette and I go to Harvard. Or, hey, my name is Lynette and I have a 3.8. Or, hey, like, I don't know. I can't think of things right now, to be honest with you. Because these kids are, like, trying to whisper in the background and it's throwing me off. So I can't really focus because I'm trying to focus on them too at the same time. It's the parent in me, sorry. the multitasking is really not working right now so well because of the depression. So I'm trying to stay in our conversation here, but I'm also trying to be in that conversation there too. And it didn't work so well while I was trying to do the stupid part of the story. But yeah, so my explaining of what just happened threw me off completely. What I was just saying, so I am just going to have to let that one go and say non-apologetically my apologies for not being able to finish the point that I was trying to make. But it's the depression. I can't multitask as well as I normally would due to the fact that it doesn't let me zone in on things like I usually would. Like normally I could read a text message and talk to you guys at the same time, or I could talk to you guys and reply slowly to a text message at the same time. Now I can't do that. I would have to either talk to you guys or reply back to the text message, because I would literally forget in the middle of doing it that I was doing one of them. So either I'm going to forget that I'm doing the text, or I'm going to forget that I'm talking to you guys. So my focus due to this depression episode right now is horrible. Completely horrible. Yeah. And I don't like this because I feel like it's a fake, like, okay moment. Like, you look at me and I have, like, my neighbors are like, are you okay? Because you're not looking too good. I'm like, dude. So, on my side of the lens, everything looks copacetic. But on your side of the lens, I'm not looking good. Damn. This depression really got me messed up. Because on my side of the lens, I feel like everything's looking pretty good, pretty cool, pretty okay. But I guess it's the depression is what's the word? It's just making it, it's falsifying, it's just making it seem one thing when it's not that thing. What's the word? Come on, brain, work for me. What's the word? Oh my god. I'm gonna say falsifying. It's just the only word that keeps popping in my brain. I don't know if falsifying is the right word, but that's just the only word that's the only word that my brain just keeps throwing at me. So we're just gonna have to stick with falsifying. If it's not the correct word, non-apologetically, it's not a neurological moment. It's not a good neurological moment right now, apparently. So non-apologetically for whatever verbal situations I may have at the current moment. I did it again, you guys. I did it again. I don't know what's going on with me right now. The topic just literally just left my brain out of thin air. I am sorry. And as you guys know, I don't edit and I don't do things to any of my stuff, so I don't want to stop and rewind and play and listen and do all of that, because technically it is tampering with, my recordings. So I don't do none of that. And yes, I'm sorry. This is the second time in this recording that this is happening. And I feel horrible right now. I don't know what's going on. this depression is really not letting me focus, and I know the topic had something to do with focus, but I don't remember exactly what I was saying at the moment that everything just, I'm just drawing an utter complete blank, like, this is another reason why I haven't really been doing content as well, because sometimes when I'm getting into it and I'm really feeling it and I'm getting like really excited, I start drawing blanks and it just gets frustrating because I don't want to draw blanks. It's overwhelming. It's bad enough that I feel like I'm pushing myself every day to like be okay when I don't feel okay, but I don't understand why I don't feel okay. And then, I don't know. None of this probably makes any sense to you guys, because honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm depressed. Don't know why I'm depressed. Don't understand why I'm depressed. Don't understand the type of depression that I'm going through. Don't know how to get myself out of it. And then don't have the desire or the energy to do anything to get myself out of it. Yeah. I don't know. It's like I lie to myself and then I tell myself the truth. But then I lie to myself again. So why bother to tell myself the truth? Does anyone else deal with anything like that when they go through their depression episodes? Like, I feel like when I'm starting to realize it's depression, I'm really honest with myself, and then I start trying to figure certain things out, and then like I'm honest with myself about those results and things like that, and then all of a sudden I start lying to myself about it and then forget it's a depression and then just move on like nothing until something happens, and then boom, I'm honest with myself again and I'm trying to get myself back out of it again. And then, does anybody else ever like deal with something like that? Because I don't know, I find this all so new and so different, and I really honestly feel like I'm lost. And I'm still trying to find a therapist. So I don't have one. So at the moment, I'm currently my only therapist. And, yeah, and so my options are slim. And, I'm a good therapist for other people. I just never been a good therapist for myself. Like, I'm great with other people's lives. Awesome. With helping them balance and all that other shit. But with mine, I always require other people's assistance. Well, let's put it like this. It's not that I require other people's assistance. The process of talking to another person helps me process better my life. Whether they say something valuable or not, just speaking helps. Like, even when I talk to you guys and I'd be like, oh, and sometimes it opens up an aha moment and I'd be like, thank you for helping me. Y'all obviously didn't say anything because I'm obviously recording. You guys are obviously not here at the moment that I'm recording, but because I'm recording for you guys the content, and during that process of me recording it for you, it's what, brought it on. Like, I'm thinking about you guys out there while you're listening, and I'm trying to get you guys valuable information or content or whatever the case may be. It helps my process and helps me process. So, yeah. But I don't know. I want my brain back though. Because what's one thing I need? My brain. But yeah, this depression just looks different. I'm not used to it, and I don't like the way it feels. It's weird. I want to get back to being able to put out the content. I gotta see the content so I can put it. But if my day-to-day is looking so depressed and I'm not seeing my content and what I'm doing with my kids and what I'm going through, then how can I put it out there? Like, I gotta get out of this depression. I gotta get out of this depression because this is just, it's overtaken, and it's not overtaking in a good way, and it's not gonna work. Like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of this depression. I gotta get out of this depression. Like, this is a really different depression, and I don't like it any better than I like the dark depression. So it don't matter if it's dark or light or whatever this you want to call it, because I don't like the way it feels either. I feel like it's an imposter. Like, it's a fake depression. Like, I feel like it's a phony. Like, it's an imitation. Like, it's an imposter. Like, it's an imposter. It's pretending to be something that it's not, and it's still a depression either way you look at it. Even if you put a light bulb and you shine the light down on it and you try to make it look like bright, like it's not dark, it's still a depression, and it's still dark. Even if the light is shining down, it is still dark, and I still don't like it. And I don't like the fact that it's covered with, like, to make it look like it's, sugar covered donuts, sugar covered strawberries. Like I don't know. Like, I just know that I don't like it, and it's driving me insane, and I need to get out of it because it's just as bad as the other one. And I'm not liking the fact that no matter what I'm trying to do, it's not working. It's not working, and that's just not cool. So I need to find other ideas, other methods, I don't know, other suggestions, I don't know. If anybody has any suggestions or ideas, shoot them in an email. I'd greatly appreciate it. And on that note, I'm going to let you guys go because I'm really feeling weak. And I don't know why, I just started to feel really weak right now. And yeah, so I'm just going to end it here. Hope you guys have a blessed one, and don't forget, please do not forget, because I just forgot my phrase. Oh my gosh, you see what I'm talking about? Today, or right now at least, is not a good neurological day. I really just forgot my phrase. Don't forget to make today count, for tomorrow's not promised to anyone, and make yesterday jealous. See